Hey guys, what's happening? Jerry here, owner, founder, CEO of Wealth DynamX, coming to you with a quick live video just here on my balcony, enjoying my view today. And I want to talk to you about something that I don't often talk about, okay? And that topic is politics. Okay, and I had a client text me today. He's like, "Hey, can you address this? Like, it's there. Nobody talks about it. When they do, it's either fear or anger or antagonism or doubt or whatever to get you all stirred up emotionally. But what do we actually do about politics?" Now, I want to talk about this from the standpoint of finances and building wealth. Okay, so what I'm going to tell you first is I'm not political whatsoever. I think the Democrats are wrong. I think the Republicans are wrong. I don't care which one you voted for. I've never voted before. I don't give those guys any of my attention. Okay, and so that's my point of view. I'm not on a side. Okay, this is my point of view on how do we handle this. So when you look in the news, and that's our first mistake, is watching the news and listening to people that watch the news. There's always this the spending bill is happening, or there's going to be a tax on gas mileage. There's going to be a change in the IRA laws. There's going to be an increase in the debt ceiling, whatever it might be. And there's always going to be that. Okay, so that's the first thing I want to point out, is that's always going to happen. Okay, once this next one, they have a spending bill or something they're passing. Once that one passes, there's going to be another thing, right? And after that one's done, there's going to be another thing. And after that one's done, there's going to be another thing. What I look at first and chiefly with politics is, can I change it? Okay, can I change it? Meaning, do I have direct influence over what happens? If I can't, I don't waste my time on it. Okay, I don't waste my time on things that I can't influence, that I can't change, that I can't go directly have an impact. Okay, so I'm not in Congress. I'm not a politician. I'm not a lobbyist. Okay, I'm not paying lobbyists at this point. And so there's nothing I can do about it, which means that I'm not going to spend my time on it. Now, that's not apathy. That's a correct estimation of effort, right? Just like the ocean. Like, if I wanted to move the ocean, that's great. I can't do that. There's no way for me to move the ocean around back here. Maybe I want it back in a different spot. That's cool. It's great to wish, right? Spit in one hand, wish in the other, see which one fills up first. Okay, so that's the correct estimation. Is it's not something I can influence. And if it's not something I can influence, I'm not going to try to. And to try to would actually be insanity. Think about that. Second thing is, there's no product there. I don't get paid by watching politics. My business doesn't grow by watching politics. My clients don't get help by watching politics. My statistic is not the news. Right. And what I mean by that is, when you look at what is the thing that you produce of value that you get compensated for, it's not watching the news and it's not paying attention to politicians. The only ones, and if you think about this, the only ones that have that statistic is the news and is the politicians. Okay, they're the only ones that get paid by paying attention to what they do. You're not them, they're not you. So you shouldn't pay attention. I shouldn't pay attention, because it doesn't actually produce anything for me. Okay. Now, what do we do, like when there's, for example, we could take the whole taxing gas mileage. I've looked at it a little bit. I don't totally know how it works, but the idea is, if you drive, a certain amount of time or miles, you get taxed based on that. That's something that they're proposing, right? I don't know anything about anything when it comes to politics, but I can tell you what I do know is these bills get proposed and they wish for the moon and then they land on the stars. Meaning, just because it's in there doesn't mean it's going to happen. Probably it won't, right? So there's no reason for you to worry about it. Because if you worry about it, again, we're back to the first thing, is you can't change it. You're not in there voting or writing these bills. Okay, so probably it won't happen. And if it does happen, okay, well, then you need to figure out how to deal with it. We've had this country since 1776. There's been politicians since day one. There's been central banks from basically the very beginning. None of this is new stuff. And so every person that's ever lived in the United States before you and I has had to figure out, when a new bill passes as law, how do I handle it? What are the repercussions? What do I do? Right? But just because it's a bill doesn't mean it's going to be a law. A lot of these things get edited, altered, taken out. Okay. Now, the other thing I want to point out is, when you look at who writes the laws, it's top 1%ers. Okay. And that's it. The Congress people, they don't actually know what's in these laws. They don't read the bills. They don't pay attention to it. They pass it and then they figure out later what it says. So if they don't know what it says, which means that they're not even paying attention to it, why should you be? Okay. They're not even sure what it says till they pass it and like, oh, okay, we're doing this now. Right? So you got to realize, like, a lot of this stuff is vested interests. It's wealthy people spending money to get what they want, wealthy corporations buying politicians, hiring their own attorneys, by the way, to write these bills, and then finding a pawn that's a congressman or whatever that will sponsor it in, and then getting it passed as law. And if that's what's happening, then you have to actually look at the top. Okay, the politicians are not at the top. The people that pay them are on the top. The people that pay them are on the top. So you need to figure out who's paying them. What are their vested interests? What are their businesses? What are their agendas? And you can pretty much figure out what's going to happen, right? Like if big oil and gas pays more money, they're going to take the whole gasoline tax out. They're going to take the mileage tax out because that's not good for oil, and oil doesn't want that. Now, if we look at big electric and they're like, hey, we want to be green, we're going to pay more money, that's where it's going to go. But you have to just watch that and look at that and watch it like very limited because, again, you can't control it. Okay. So at the end of the day, none of this helps me. I can't do anything about it. Most of it's speculative, right? And what I do know is the government is always going to increase control and taxes. In what way and method, I don't know and I don't care, but I know that that's always what will happen. And so I can go ahead and just predict, all right, cool, taxes are going to go up. Solution, go make more money. Get out of debt, get solvent, build wealth, get passive income so I can be out of the system, right? That's the solution. It's not worry about the law and pay attention to it and yada, 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 right? They increase control. They're always going to do that. They always have. That's why a government exists. I already know that. Solution, go earn more income, pay off my debt, get solvent, invest, build wealth. Like it's no difference on what the answer is going to be from one thing to the next. The question is do I get distracted by it? Do I get distracted by, writing my letter to Santa by voting? Right. And for an entire year, that's all I pay attention to. Do I get distracted every single quarter when the Fed meets, which they meet every single quarter, they always have, and stop everything for a week or two paying attention to that? Do I get distracted every time there's a debt ceiling increase? Do you guys know what a debt ceiling increase even is? A debt ceiling increase means that the government is increasing their credit lines. They're going to borrow more money. Guys, we're at like a $5 trillion budget deficit. Guess what? Big surprise. They're always going to increase the debt ceiling because we will always need to spend more on our credit because we've maxed out our credit and we're still over budget. And there's no effort to reduce that. Last time we had a balanced budget and no debt was Andrew Jackson. Okay, look what happened now. They've painted him out to be, this racist guy and a terrible president, and they're ripping down all his statues. He was the only one that actually helped us. Out of all the presidents we've ever had, he's the only one that both balanced the budget and paid off the debt all at the same time in his term. Okay, we haven't had that since the 1800s, which means it's probably not going to happen. You can guarantee they're going to spend more money. They're going to raise the debt ceiling. They're going to continue putting out spending bills. They're going to continue having lobbyists, represent special interest groups who write the bills. They're going to continue, putting it on the news. And what you can do is you can focus on it and make no progress and get distracted and go into fear and doubt and all this negative emotion by paying attention to it. Or you can say, great, none of that matters. That's not my game. That's not my stat. I can't change that. Those people can't help me. Those people have never helped me. I'm going to go do my own thing and build my own freedom. Okay, so that's what I want to share with you. So really quickly, before I sign out here, I want to challenge you, stop watching the news, at all. And there's always going to be a reason why you do and why you should. You're going to have that instant justification of, well, but then I won't know what's going on. You don't need to know what's going on. That was the point of this video. So stop watching the news. Stop talking to people about politics. Okay, and when people refuse, get them out of your life, right? If they're always talking about news and politics, they're negative people. They're effect. They're not going to help. They're not going to help you. They're always going to bring, the gloom and doom and the, what if this happens and what if this happens? And they're always going to blame the problem on some solution that you can't fix based on some people that you don't know and you can't change. That doesn't help you in your life. So guys, that's what I have for you today. I hope that this helps you. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Get this out there because God knows Facebook isn't gonna. And I'll see you guys next time. If you're wondering, what does Wealth Dynamics do? How can we actually help you? Number one, if you haven't gotten a copy of my book, Blueprint to Financial Freedom, grab one now. You can get that down in the comments in the video. You can get the link for that. Number two, we do a free course on Fridays on personal finance. Okay, you can also get the link for the description there too. And then finally, if you have a desire to start getting help walking through these different phases toward financial freedom, book a call with my team. Go to our website, set up a call. We're able to help out and answer questions. That's how we can help you. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you turn notifications on, and I will talk to you guys on the next video.